Let's go get one, fellas.
All right, we'll get one. We got one ready for you right here as we get you ready for Week 7 here on NFL Playbook. What's going on, everybody? Rhett Lewis here with you. I've got my XO Maestros, as always. The Super Bowl champ, Shaun O'Hara, here in studio. Coach Brian Billick out on the East Coast. There we go.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, for a second straight week, guys, we got the Patriots in our game of the week. Patriots, though, on the road, taking on the Bears at Soldier Field here this week. Tom Brady's numbers have seen a dramatic rise the last 2 weeks. His completion percentage up 10% and yards per game up over 100.
No shock there, really.
Yeah, I know, right? The Bears, though, on average, give up more passing yards to Brady than any other team. On the flip side, Chicago's second-year quarterback Mitchell Trubisky also improving the last 2 weeks, tossing 9 touchdowns to just 1 interception, while compiling a passer rating of just over 143. But is aware that progress will be tested against the Patriots defense, among the most difficult to diagnose.
I think their scheme, it fits really well to keeping the quarterback in the pocket while just being disruptive and confusing at the same time. So I just got to play my game, trust our offense, and not try to do too much. If I play within myself and play within this offense, I think I'll be just fine. And when things start to break down, I'll just continue to use my natural ability and try to create plays on the run.
So, Coach, I mentioned the improvement for Trubisky the last couple of weeks, but when you study him on tape, do you see some other areas where he can continue that progress against the Patriots this week?
Yeah, let's remember now, this is a guy that's on pace for better than 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, 70% completions. Those are pretty darn good numbers. But when I look at the film, I see that he is missing some things that I think, whether it's this week or beyond, he's going to start to see. Here's one. He's out of the gun where he likes to operate in a tight 2-by-2 formation. Now, I want you to watch this deep crossing route and what the free safety does. He's all over the crosser. What Trubisky doesn't recognize or is not seeing is there's a post over the top of the free safety. This should have been a huge play, if not a touchdown, if he sees the rotation early enough. Now, he does see it here. You're going to see the same type of play. You're going to get a crossing route, and this is kind of a funky coverage by Miami. The safety comes up. The linebacker drops the crossing route. This is a touchdown for sure. It's just a bad throw. It's high and behind him. They actually come back and hit this for a big, big play in the second half. Now, here you're down in the red zone. This is a sure touchdown. You got a bunch of linemen. Same concept. You're going to run a crossing route with the receiver. It takes the safety. They open up the middle of the field in this 2 deep. This is going to be a wide open touchdown, but he doesn't see it. He's not looking. He throws the ball underneath. So these are the type of throws that I think Mitch Trubisky is going to start to make more and more of the more he sees this type of alignment. And now the sky's the limit for a guy that's playing pretty good right now.
And also in Trubisky's corner this week, the Patriots defense giving up more points per game than any Patriots team in the Belichick era. Now, on the flip side, Shaun, this Bears team, their defense came into Week 6, #1 rush defense in the league. They started to show some holes against Miami, and now they've got a potent Patriots running game where Sonny Michel is second only to Todd Gurley in rushing yards the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, ironically enough, the Bears couldn't stop the run, and they couldn't find the quarterback.
Come on.
Well, let me show you how it happened. It's all about gap integrity. When your linebackers lose it, big plays happen in the run game. Credit Miami. They did a good job up front. But this is a run-stuffing defense right here. This is what we call 5 down, Rhett. You've got 6 guys in the box, and Danny Trevathan right here is going to lose his leverage. I want you to watch him right here as this play unfolds. The Dolphins are going to run what we call a little G scheme. What does that mean? We got a down block right here, down block right here. The tight end is going to block down and seal Trevathan, and they're going to pull the guard. And look at this huge gap that opens up right here for the running back. Right now, Danny Trevathan right now,
all right, trouble.
He can't get off the block, and he's giving up his gap. He's got to be here. He's got to force it to the safety that's coming to insert right here, but he doesn't do that. Ends up being a big play. He eventually gets him down, but that gap integrity is what cost them. Now it showed up again, and this time it's Roquan Smith. The Dolphins are going to motion right here to draw a little attention. Then they're going to bring this tight end down here on a wham block on the 3 technique. But, Rhett, what I want you to focus on is Roquan Smith right here, the rookie linebacker.
Yep.
Watch his eyes, because the Dolphins did a great job right here pulling this guard on the wham block, and look what it does to his eyes right here as that play happens. All right, you see him cross the face of the guard because he sees the guard pull, and now he's in the A-gap, and he needs to be right here. So look where Frank Gore goes with this run play. Roquan Smith lost his gap integrity, and it's a big run for Frank Gore. This showed up a couple times for the Bears, and of course they're going to want to figure out a way to fix this against the Patriots. They're averaging almost 150 yards rushing in the last 3 weeks, and you mentioned all that stuff. If the Patriots can run the football, now all of a sudden, Coach, that takes away one of the Bears' biggest assets in Khalil Mack.
Sure it does. You know the old adage, Shaun, it's you run at speed and you run away from strength, okay? So if they're going to run at, a lot of things can be said for going at a Khalil Mack. Beyond the fact that obviously he's a little gimpy right now, he's week to week, and we'll see how he's going to play. But now if you get him wondering, you know, are you going to come at me again? Are you going to pull one of those guards? You're going to lead a fullback up? There's a lot of things that the Patriots could do to attack Khalil Mack to maybe take a little bit of salt off that pass rush and maybe confuse some of those other young linebackers just like you saw.
Yeah, kind of an uncharacteristic day defensively all around for the Bears. Khalil Mack, as we're just talking about, for the first time this season, not only did he not have a sack, he didn't have a single pressure either. Of course, was injured, Coach, as you alluded to there in the first half, considered day-to-day ahead of this Patriots game. But, you know, whether it's for a player or a scheme, the Patriots always figure out a way to adjust, don't they, Shaun?
They do a great job of game planning. They're going to have a way to try to take Khalil Mack out of the game, not let him rush the quarterback, but they do a great job in the second half, Rhett. I was so impressed with how they attacked the Chiefs last week. Let me show you a couple of plays, what I'm talking about. Now, these plays are in the fourth quarter. Now, this play is going to be a little fake ghost screen. Julian Edelman's going to come out here, and I want you to watch what it does to the defense right here. This little fake action right here, all right? Tom Brady barely even pump fakes, but what you're going to see right here is this defender, this defender, this defender. They're all eyeballing Edelman, and it draws them in, and nobody is paying attention to my man from Wyckoff, New Jersey, Chris Hogan. All right, went to Monmouth College. Nobody's paying attention to him.
Lacrosse, let's go.
They forgot about him. This is all game plan right here. All right, they saw how they lined up against this formation early on. Now here's another fourth quarter play. This is great game plan design. This is an 8-man box right here. Look at all these guys up at the line of scrimmage. This is a run-stuffing defense. We call this a bear defense. And this guy right here, the switch defender, lined up over Gronk. They ran the same formation, Rhett, earlier in the game, and they saw this matchup, and they told Tom Brady, we want you to alert to this play, and he did this at the line. They go alert, they block the switch defender, Rhett, with the left tackle, and watch what it does for Gronkowski. They fake the run, the left tackle's blocking, nobody's on Gronkowski. And you got the stiff arm right there when you're messing with Sasquatch. Nobody wants to mess with Gronk. The game planning is remarkable, and I think the Patriots, they do a great job in their preparation week to week, but in the second half, what they do, the way they come after and attack you, it's like nobody you've ever seen in the NFL, and I think they do a great job with the matchups one-on-one, but also with the schemes. It's something the Bears are going to really have to focus on.
All right, back with you here on Playbook, taking a look back here at the Chiefs and Patriots, and down 7, late fourth quarter. Who are you going to call? Well, clearly, as you can see through our True View video, the only answer was Tyreek Hill. Basically comes to a stop to catch that pass and outruns everyone for the touchdown. And for a look now at how Hill and the Chiefs can get past the Bengals, we go inside the film room with Shaun and Willie McGinest.
Sunday Night Football, we've got a good one here. The Bengals taking on the Chiefs. You know it's going to be loud. We got the second best scoring offense in the Kansas City Chiefs. Willie, how are they doing this?
They are dangerous, man. We look at Andy Reid's offense, what he's doing. He's getting you with formations, shifts, motions, and tempo. So you look at all the creativity within his offense.
A lot of that's pre-snap, too.
Pre-snap, you got to identify where guys are. Here's the 21 personnel right here. Kelsey's at the top. You got Hill at the bottom. But guess what? We're going to shift. We're going to move guys around. You got West up the top. Now you got 3
Everybody's got to
down
talk,
here at
right?
the bottom. Everybody's got to talk. You got to go routes. Now, Hill's in the slot. The safety's looking over at the running back. His attention should be to the 3 receiver side. Yeah. These guys are going to shoot up the seam. Patrick Mahomes, it seems as on every single play, he has 2 options or multiple options to get the ball to. You see him strike for a big play right here down the field. Here it is again. You got Hill and Kelsey at the top. They're going to bring Kelsey over into motion. He's going to give the illusion. He's going to block that defensive end. But no. It's a crossing route between Sammy Watkins and him. Hill's going to be the clear-out guy, but he's not really a clear-out guy because if you don't cover him, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, he's going over the top.
He's going over the top. You see the crossing. You see them give 2 guys on Hill, which vacates a huge space at the top for Kelsey to just have fresh, green, now I wouldn't say cut grass, but turf in front of them to make another big chunk play. And then here it is again. Watch all the attention that goes on Hill at the top. Kelsey, again, at the bottom. They're going to bring him over in motion, fly sweep, hand it to him, throw it to him. Miles Jack, he's paying attention to Hill. The outside linebacker, his eyes is paying attention to Hill, but guess who they're not looking at? They're not looking at Kelsey. He's going to run a wheel route. One step can get you in trouble with this offense because they got athletic, fast guys that can make big plays.
There's so much going on, pre-snap, post-snap, a lot for these defenses to try to figure out. To me, the one thing that jumps out is you've got to play disciplined football.
Yes.
With your eyes, with your pre-snap communication. When I turn on the Bengals film, I don't see any of that.
You don't see it.
And I saw last week against the Steelers, the Bengals struggled with personnel and formation. Here's 2 tight ends, fullback and a running back.
This is a running personnel, right?
Yeah, this personnel brings out the 4-4 defense for the Bengals. They're thinking run. Now they motion to a quad formation. They have no idea what to do, Willie. It's like they've never seen this before. They didn't watch Varsity Blues. It's the loop-de-loop. They got 5 guys covering 4 guys.
Somebody's open.
Somebody is wide open. And there's the tight end on the backside. This is a total bust-in coverage. You can't have that in the NFL. You're not going to win football games doing that. So lack of discipline, pre-snap recognition. How about lack of discipline in the execution of the coverage? All right, we've got 2 high safety right here. This is cover 2, Tampa 2, if you will.
They've got the right call, Shaun.
It is the right call. Poor execution. The safeties have the deep thirds on the outside, and the middle linebacker is supposed to have the deep middle third, but Vontaze Burfict doesn't get any depth. After the play, I saw a lot of this going on, a lot of finger pointing.
Right.
Who's got who and whose fault was it? Well, the last play of the game, Willie, they go blitz 0. Terrell also says, I've seen enough. We're going to be aggressive. This corner should have had inside leverage down here, would have helped, but with nobody in the middle of the field, Willie, this is not sound football, and with the game on the line, you put your defense in a tough spot.
And guess what they're going to do? Make a big play.
Big play. And against this second highest scoring offense with the Kansas City Chiefs, it's a tough task. The Bengals gave up 12 big plays against the Steelers last week. Yep. If they want to win, they're going to have to close that out and find a way to fix it.
Well, now Drew Brees will have to reckon with a Ravens defense coming off a franchise best 11 sacks in Week 6. But beware of bringing an extra rusher against Brees, who has an NFL best 76.4 completion percentage to go along with 7 TDs and 0 picks against the blitz. And that Ravens defense, the 3rd most frequent blitz team in the league, and the only team that hasn't surrendered a TD when blitzing, also allowing the lowest overall completion percentage as well. So clearly, Shaun, Ravens defensive coordinator Wink Martindale has shown some genius in how he manufactures the pass rush here, but now he's got to match wits with Sean Payton and the creativity that he has.
Yeah, there's geniuses on both sides of the ball. And when you look at Sean Payton, he's doing a great job with big chunks coming out of tight end formations. And I think when you look at what he's done, I think given a bye week, now he's going to have a chance to game plan even more. How about this? 3 tight ends right here, just 1 receiver. They go motion right here, which bumps the corner out, brings the safety down. Now because of the personnel, Washington here is in 3-4 base personnel. So they've got 1 safety and 1 more linebacker for coverage. That linebacker on Michael Thomas is a mismatch. That was all created because of the personnel that Sean Payton had him in. Here's another heavy personnel. You got 3 tight ends and a fullback. They go motion right here, and this heavy personnel is designed to give big chunk plays. Well, now the play action right here freezes the linebackers, gives them something else to think about. The reason why they want to hold them, they're outflanking them. All right, I call Sean Payton, he's like Optimus Prime. All right, he's out there and more than meets the eye. Anytime you think he's showing you something, it's not. How about this one for the Decepticons? Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara in the backfield at the same time. Everybody's focused on these guys. Look at the defense shifting. Everybody's flying over to one side of the field. And Optimus Prime's got somebody coming out the back door, a tight end screen right here. This is what Sean Payton is bringing to this offense. Drew Brees is orchestrating it perfectly. And I think it's a great mismatch. It's in the Saints' favor. I think it's going to be great to watch them battle with the safeties and Eric Weddle and Tony Jefferson.
Another matchup we're going to watch in the trenches here this week. So why don't you kick slide over there and draw us up on what we can expect to see.
I thought you'd never ask me to talk a little bit about the big boys up front. And you talk about a little kick slide. How about these guys right here? All right, I've got the offensive line right here, the Saints. I got a couple of grades right now. I want to focus on the right side first. Larry Warford has yet to give up a sack this season. Ryan Ramczyk, one of the best right tackles in the game right now. Teron Armstead, A+ right now. He has yet to give up a sack this season as well. This defense right now, Baltimore, they're doing a great job with the defensive fronts. They love these cross-dog blitzes. And when you look at what they do up front, they bring the nose guard in the B gap. They bring the linebackers in the A gap. Doing a great job against the run. Only 2 rushing touchdowns this season. And on 3rd down, Rhett, how many sacks you said they had last week?
11.
7 of them were on 3rd down. So take the nose guard off. Now you've got double A gap blitzers right here. in the linebackers. Sometimes they'll bail out and they'll bring a safety down the A-gap. A lot of pressure right here up the A-gap. That signals pressure for Drew Brees unless the big boys up front get the job done.
And also good news for the big boys up front. Last year's most productive running back duo is back in action. Mark Ingram, 73 scrimmage yards and a couple of touchdowns in his Week 5 debut. Now, last year, together with Kamara, these two averaging just over 30 touches for nearly 200 scrimmage yards per game. So, Coach, what challenge does that present to this Ravens defense?
Well, those A linemen you talked about, Shaun, they better bring their A game because this defensive front four, whether they're 3 or 4 alignment, they've got Urban, they got Williams, they've got Pierce, they've got Wormley. I want you to watch how fundamentally sound they are. Here you're going to see the 3 defensive linemen. Look at them take on the point of attack. Everybody's got man for man, outside arm free. They're forcing the play back to the inside. You got Suggs on the backside taking care of that pull wham block, and the linebackers fill in between. Now, I want you to watch the right side here. Again, on the edge, they're going to take on the offensive line. They keep their outside arm free. That forces the back on the inside. And watch Kenny Young on the inside. He read and reacts so quickly. He pulls the trigger, and he makes the tackle. They're so fundamentally sound. Obviously, New Orleans can do all that personnel and trick stuff. But because Baltimore is so fundamentally sound, New Orleans better be equally fundamentally sound if they think they're going to run or protect against these Baltimore Ravens.
The Pittsburgh Steelers last week took care of business in their division against the Bengals. How about my boys Villanueva, the left tackle, right guard David DeCastro, Marcus Gilbert? Not one sack, not one quarterback hit for that group. 111 yards for James Conner. They did a great job protecting Ben Roethlisberger. Of course, on the last play of the game helped out too. How about looking forward to this week? Carolina Panthers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles up front. We got some great matchups. How about Taylor Moton, the right tackle, has yet to give up a sack or a quarterback hit this season against Brandon Graham. And then how about Fletcher Cox versus right guard Trey Turner? Trey Turner obviously going to have his hands full with that big fella. But both these teams do a great job against the run and stopping the run.
And for more information on the week's best offensive line, go to NFL.com/Ford. Now, let's finish strong here, guys. Let's bring Coach Billick back. Little no-huddle offense, rapid fire. Shaun, going right back to that Panthers-Eagles game. Give me another matchup to watch.
Yeah, for this game, it's all about the red zone. We know Cam Newton for the Panthers is going to run the ball in, but how about for the Eagles, the relationship with Zach Ertz? How about this fake slant route into the corner of the end zone? Nobody does a better job of creating space in the red zone than Zach Ertz right now. Carson Wentz, he knows exactly where he's going to be. Look for that in the red zone.
All right, let's get to the Texans and Jaguars. Coach, you're up.
Well, last week, the Cowboys ran for better than 206 yards, 82 of them by Dak Prescott. Now, these were mostly scrambles like you're seeing here. He gets knocked out of the pocket, got a big 28-yard gain, obviously a big play for them. Deshaun Watson's going to have a lot more designed runs than what we see here in terms of just kind of accidental or incidental runs by Dak Prescott. Going to be very important to rein in Deshaun Watson in the running game.
Okay, Shaun, back to you for the Cowboys and Redskins.
Everybody was wondering where was Cole Beasley at. Well, he's right there. He's spitting bars and he's catching footballs in the slot. You don't want to cover this guy man-to-man. Look at these little juke moves right here by Cole Beasley. It's like butter right through the middle of this defense. I think Dak Prescott found his man.
Hey, Coach, let's do the Titans and Chargers.
Well, last week the Titans gave up 123 yards against the Baltimore Ravens. Well, guess what? You got Melvin Gordon coming at you with 132 yards last year. We've seen this play a million times. Down, kick out by the fullback or the backside tight end. They love this play with a little counter action. Obviously, the Titans are going to have to hold up a whole lot better against the Chargers than they did the Ravens.